Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to Studio Live today and your Music Live for another week. My name is Pete and this is Studio Live today, where my goal is to help you create, record and release your best music. And we do that through tips, tricks, tutorial videos and live shows just like this one. So for the next hour to 2 hours, I never quite know how long, I'll be playing the tracks that have been submitted to me. Now, folks have emailed these to me. They've sent them to pete@studiolivetoday.com. They've put YML in the subject. That way Gmail will throw them straight into a folder. I haven't listened to these yet, but we'll be listening to them together. And if you are going to submit a track, give me 1 or 2 sentences about the track so I can say something right here up front and people will know what's going on. Hello to the folks who are here live. I've seen a bunch of people all lined up here, ready to go. We've got Tono, we've got 1000 watts, Dan Marino, Metallion 58, Jade Star is here doing moderating duties. As always, Gertrude C Music, Noah AG, Tom Rochelle, Glenn Clark, Andrew Goldsby, Duty Free, Noah, I think I said hello to you, Stu Cash, Scott, I think that's everyone. If I've missed you, I'm sorry, but this show is interactive, so hang around and have a chat and let me know what you're thinking as we go through the show, because it's one thing for one person, for me to be giving my feedback and my opinion about a song, but it is better for the whole community to be doing that, because that's what's going to help people get better and improve, is getting feedback, because we all start at zero. I know I say this all the time, but everyone starts at zero. Your first song is always your first song, and then it's learning from that that is going to improve things. Speaking of learning from first songs and improving, we're going to kick things off here with a track that was only sent to me recently. Now, if you're wondering why someone might get to jump the queue, this is someone who supports me on Patreon and who's been in touch with me recently, and I have had a quick listen to this song and I happen to know it's an absolute cracker. So let's kick things off here. We're going to listen to the Indigo Sunsets. Now, I interviewed the Indigo Sunsets, Stu and Andy, about a week ago now, a bit longer than that, week and a half, and we talked about their music and we talked about how they create music in the home studio and how they collaborate. So if you missed that one, do go back and check it out. This is going to be our sound check too, guys. So sorry, you're the guinea pigs for today as well, but that's okay. So we're going to bring this one up. We'll make sure that everything is where it needs to be in the right place so that we can get things cracking here for your music live. That's looking good. I'm going to use the non-full screen here again because that seemed to work well last time. And if we switch over, there we are. We're back on our desktop. So let's kick things off here. Stu and Andy, the Indigo Sunsets with Raging Waterfall here on Your Music Live.
I don't think I've seen this place before. It feels so familiar, now I'm not sure. The windows all steam up high and dry. I don't think I've seen your face before. You look so familiar, now I'm not sure. The windows all steam up high.
Raging Waterfall from the Indigo Sunset. Stu Cash, Andy Goldsby. I think I've seen both of the lads here in the live chat as well. And we got some comments coming in. That's the wrong button. That's a better one. We got some comments coming in, so we'll jump to those in just a moment. Let us know what you thought of that one. Now, as I've said, we've played. I think this is the third track we've played from the Indigo Sunsets here on Your Music Live across the 8 shows we've done. And yeah, they get a bit of a free kick because they just happen to play the sort of music that I really dig, which is that mid-90s vibe, Brit pop rock kind of blurry Oasis-y, sound, which is a way of saying, yeah, I like it. But the thing is, you can do that music well, and you can do it not so well. The boys do it well. So they construct it well. The chord progression's beautiful. Blend of guitars beautiful. Drums just sit there in the mix. They're not poking out too much, but they're still there and present. And the vocal harmonies and the vocal processing on that is just spot on. So I, for one, I'm looking forward to the album being completed, and Stu reached out and we had a chat during the week because he was mixing this one, and he's like, oh, I really wouldn't mind getting some help, and maybe we would do a live mixing sort of interview and get some help. And I'm like, yeah, we could, let's do that. I'm a little bit busy at the moment. And then he comes back to me the next day and says, no, I've fixed it. It's cool. So hopefully, we can do something like that in the future with Stu and with Andy, just to see how they do that and maybe compare notes on that. It's always fun to learn from others around the process behind things. But let's have a look at what folks had to say about this one. Too many comments. It's gone. So Andy says that worth the 3 a.m. finish, Stu. So it sounds like Stu was up late doing that one. Metallian said, heard this on GarageBand Users. Great song, well done. Glenn Clark, the clarity of this track is amazing. Yes, super crystal clear. Jade says, waiting desperately for the Indigo Sunsets album. Yes, should be great. S.M. Borthwick, another fine track. Nice psychedelic mood, says Gerard Voss. Hello to you, Gerard. Gary Hubbs. No, you're not talking about that. That's okay. Great harmonies too, says Glenn Clark. Agree. There's too much. Love the vocals from Italian. I can't. Yeah, sorry. There's too many things here. What you're going to have to do, if you're watching on the replay, if you come here live, you can watch along and you can see what people have to say about these. And if you're watching the replay, just turn on the live chat replay, which should be down below. It takes a little while to process. So if you're watching live, you'll see that. And if you're watching a few hours after live on the replay, you'll see the little live chat there. So you can check those out for yourself. But too many people saying too many good things, which is a great problem to have. But it just makes it a little bit more challenging for me to keep up. And we do have other songs to get to because we'll be here for a while, but we do need to keep moving on. So let's do exactly that, and we'll continue on with this one. So I got an email here from Chris. It says, starting to pull things together. I love loud and fast R&R, rock and roll, but I'm learning the more gentle side, or with your valuable guidance. To view my file, click this link. And we've got a Spotify link here too. So let's copy this. Let's do our song whip thing, because I like to show off Song Whip. If you don't know about Song Whip, it is run by Wilson Page, very, very cool guy, and it is this platform here. What you can do is actually make a link. So when someone sends me a Spotify link, I'm not actually a Spotify Premium user. I know, gasp! I use Google Play because I use YouTube Premium, and I get Google Play included, and I get ad-free YouTube. It's definitely worth checking out. But all we need to do is paste in that Spotify link, and it's going to bring us up here. So we've got Down to the Roach Again by Bad Dog Rock and Roll. And now I can play this anywhere I like to. So let's bring this up on YouTube. I'll make sure we've got some volume here. Bring it up on YouTube and take a listen to this tune here on Your Music Live. There we go. Enjoy. Down to the Roach Again by Bad Dog Rock and Roll. Very nicely done. I like the vibe of that. So we've got pretty frantic to start with the Indigo Sunsets, with a very sort of in your face, and then we've kicked it down a notch, which is always nice. And we've had a listen to that one. So I really like that. So the couple of things that stood out for me: guitar processing was really nice. It was subtle. I like that sound, that tone of the guitar. Just sounded really nice. The beat behind it did some interesting things there, and I like this in a beat where it just almost skips a bar there, but in a good way. So it was a little bit like almost a syncopated rhythm where you're just not expecting it. It's not just 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Like there's a bit there where it will just cut back, and anytime you can do that, the Beatles use that all the time. They would throw a bar of 2/4 time in amongst a 4/4 song, even a 3/4 or something. If you can change it up, I know if you use things like GarageBand, doesn't make it super easy for you to do it, but it is a very good way to get some variety in your day. You know what I'm saying? Could be a long one. Dad jokes, random phrases, abundant. Love Buzz says, I want to put it on my playlist. Yeah, very cool. Stu Cash, cool tune. Love Buzz band. I like it a lot. Is it Spotify? Yeah, so it is on Spotify. I'll put the link down below. It's on Spotify or Apple Music, all the places. Looks like it's been released. Gary Hubb says, nice notes, dreamy, soulful. Yeah. Tom Rochelle, very chill tune, very nice percussion. Yeah. And Glenn Clark says, cool vibe, like the percussion too. Italian, nice and airy, almost meditative. Cool. If you're wondering, by the way, if you watch my shows, I've normally got the ability to throw comments up on the screen. I don't have this because I'm using OBS and I want to have better quality audio for this particular show, because I use StreamYard, but the problem with StreamYard is it only has mono audio. I love it for my talk shows and other things. When we're listening to tunes, I've got to use this old school kind of vibe. Bubba, thank you very much. Says happy Friday. Here's a little something for that empty Christmas card I prematurely sealed last year, Pete. Thank you, Bubba. Bubba supports the channel most weekends. No pressure, Bubba, but most weekends he drops in and throws a super chat on one of the shows to help us get the party started and to help ensure I can, feed and clothe my family, which I do appreciate, because I've said it before. I don't make anything from this show. I mean, I love doing this show and I want to do this show. But unlike other videos where I make advertising revenue, because I'm playing other people's music, any ads that you see throughout this show will be, the revenue goes back to the original artist whose song I'm playing, or the artists. It gets split up if anyone's got anything released with Content ID. So I think that's cool. But yes, I do appreciate any of the donations that come my way. It helps out. Every bit helps. Let's continue on here, shall we? We're going to find more music, and I've got plenty. If you are wondering, Jade's probably doing her thing and letting you know how to submit songs. We do have a full quota for today, but if you want to get on a future show, just email pete@studiolivetoday.com, put YML in the subject, and put a line or two about your song, which is what Duophonic Music has indeed done. And Duophonic Music says this is a synth wave song called Permeated by Duophonic Music. It's a doorless jam, nice, using the Deluge and Boutique Juno and JX synth from Roland. Very, very cool. And this is from Michael. So we're going to grab this link and we'll throw it over here. So I've got, when I do this show, I have so many windows going on. I need to make sure I've got the right one in the right place so that we can get cracking and play this one. We'll load that one up, we'll hit pause, and we'll get ready to play on this one. So this is Permeated, a synthwave jam, and this is Duo. I think we've heard from Duophonic Music before, and from memory, it was some good stuff. So we'll bring this one up, we'll hit play. This is Duophonic Music, Permeated on Your Music Live. I have the absolute utmost respect for folks who can do that sort of thing, who are going to take the time to use hardware synths and hardware synths and hardware instruments to create sounds like that. I mean, for those of us that record in the home studio and use a DAW and record into GarageBand or whatever you use, you know how hard it is to bring everything together. And yet there's folks out there that want to make it even harder for themselves and do it all live and program in and sequence everything so that it can play back live just like that. So I think that is super cool and a very cool jam. Loved all those synth sounds. I like the video. I like that you brought in your other, like you had the bit of gear and then you're like, and it looked lonely, so we brought in more gear. I could definitely see myself. I've never been a synth guy. I've never been a sort of hardware synth or outboard gear kind of guy, deliberately, because I could see myself getting addicted and buying way too much of it. So I stick with the pre-recorded, pre-done kind of stuff personally. Noah AG says pretty cool. Duty free cinematic and a good description. Glenn Clark. Sorry. I'm reading it backwards. Glenn Clark says very cinematic. Tono says edgy phone commercial. Dig it. It could be a phone commercial, couldn't it? You could see like an Android phone like flipping around in the air. Ed Zielinski's diminished chord, I think. Nice. Yeah. 1,000 watts. Just saying hello. Desolate Morning. I could hear this in 80s type movie. Yeah. Bit of an 80s sort of cyberpunk feel, isn't there? Yeah, very cool. Nice sounds, very cool mix, says Scott. Tom Rochelle, love this. Nice synth tones, mad respect for working. OTB, that's super awesome. I know. It's really, it is working at like what we call in the box or out of the box. Working out of the box, meaning that you're doing everything live with hardware. I think that deserves a golf clap. Anyone remember that movie called Men at Work? Golf clap. Yeah, Emilio Estevez and Charlie Sheen back in the day. Anyway, getting sidetracked here. I get sidetracked, by the way. And by the way, speaking of sidetracked, speaking of shiny, speaking of sidetracked, if you do want to support the channel, you can head over to studiolivetoday.com because, as I mentioned before, this show is brought to you by me and studiolivetoday.com. So there's a bunch of different ways that you can support the channel. And in fact, if you're wondering, a few folks have asked in the past when I'm playing back music here, what is all this business down the side? So what's all this? Well, this is TubeBuddy, and I mentioned it in a show. I did a show on the best tools for video creators during the week, and TubeBuddy gives you not only cool analytics on your own videos, but I know it's a little bit secret Big Brother stuff here, but it actually shows you info about other people's videos and channels. So I can actually see here how many likes and how many mentions it's had on Twitter and Facebook and what's that one called? Reddit. And then you can look at, what tags people have put in their videos. So if you're trying to not compete with, but if you're trying to, let's just say you wanted to do a YouTube video, and I'm removing all my secrets here. You want to do a YouTube video about something, and Pete's already done one. Well, guess what? You have TubeBuddy. You can go over to Pete's video and find out exactly what tags Pete put in there. And look, if you copy them, hey, more power to you. It's all public information, so there's nothing underhanded or nefarious here. But it is a cool tool, and it does help you with your own tags, your descriptions, your titles, everything you do with your videos. So if you are releasing videos and you want to make sure that you get the most number of people viewing them, engaging with them, and all the rest, and showing up in search results, TubeBuddy. Go to studiolivetoday.com/TubeBuddy, and you can check that out. I've lost my window that has my emails. Here it is, because we need to find the next email, and I didn't have it there. I was going to try and queue it up ready, but then I realized it was behind the video that you were watching, and that wasn't going to work. All right. Next up, we have Elon. Hello, Elon. Hope you're doing well. And he has submitted a Jamaican dance hall type song, which sounds super cool. I think we had some dance hall music last week as well. I'm not super familiar with it, but that is even better than stuff I am familiar with, because part of this show and part of why I like doing this show is that I get to listen to a bunch of music, and potentially the types of music that I wouldn't necessarily ordinarily listen to. So that is cool. So we're going to take a listen to this one. This is from Elon. I'll bring it up here so that you can take a look as well. This is a tune called Bands, and it is from Elon La Hype Brunus. And we're going to listen to it here now, live on Your Music Live. Let's do it.
Counting my bands. Sauce on my wrist, man, I'm gon' make them dance. You counterfeit while I'm counting my bands. You making dollars while I'm making grands. I like how she bob when she taking my hand. Sauce on my wrist, man, I'm gon' make them dance. You counterfeit while I'm counting my bands. You making dollars while I'm making grands. I like how she bob when she taking my hand. Like a wildfire, girl, you know I bring the heat. I can't have a cold heart, man, I am not weak. I know when you saw me, I'm the dude of your dreams. Changing on my waist, girl, I gotta stay clean. Oh my God, when I look in your eyes, all I see is blue when you light up my sky. I know you know I'm different, girl, I'm not like other guys. I wanna make you cry, girl, I will treat you right. So my wrist, man, I'm gonna make them dance. You counterfeit while I'm counting my bands. You making dollars while I'm making grands. I like how she bob when she taking my hand. So my wrist, man,
Elon, La Hype, Brunus with bands here on Your Music Live. What a cool jam. What do I like about that? Like the lyrics and the beat are right on point. So yeah, I like it when you got that timing that you're just hitting. Like, yeah, that it's really hard to get that sounding good. It's really easy to sound sloppy. It can be really hard to make that sort of music really tight, and to be singing along to that sort of beat and getting it sounding really tight is a tough thing to do. As someone who's tried it, it's a tough thing to do. So great job on that. Loved the beat. Loved the little bits and pieces in there that came in and out. Lots of variety in there with the sort of piano instrument and the off the beat reggae style sample that was in there. Yeah, it just all came together really nicely. The auto-tune on the vocals, I know this usually divides people as to whether auto-tune, yes, no, maybe. I think with this sort of track, it definitely works, having that auto-tune on the vocal. It's a stylistic thing as opposed to clearly you can pitch your vocals. It's not that you're trying to fix up your vocals. It's a stylistic thing, which is pretty cool. Let's come over here and take a listen. Tono says very well mixed. Metallian says like the Latin vibe in here. Yeah, it's almost a Latin vibe, isn't it? Judy Free says good vocals. Glenn Clark loved the bass. Bubba loved the pans. Caleb says cool beat. Desolate Morning sounds really cool for that kind of music. Jeff Brush, nice song. We've got folks saying auto-tune is a no-go. Yeah, you know what? I usually mention this earlier, but the thing about music is there is no yes, no. There is no good, bad. There is just your opinion. There is your opinion, there's your experience. Nothing is definitive when it comes to music, because there is music that I really dislike that other people really enjoy. It's their jam, and vice versa. Not everyone is into, laid back singer-songwriter, acoustic guitar, piano-based tunes. I happen to be. So, yeah. Horses for courses, as they say. Rage says very professional. Scott says, very glad you did OBS on stream for this. Yeah, it definitely helps. So if you're just joining, I don't use StreamYard for these. I use OBS so that you get that real crystal clear quality stereo sound, so you can listen to these tunes, and we do them justice. Tom Rochelle says, really cool. I have to admit, I haven't listened to any modern dancehall, but even the old stuff always had great melody, and this is no exception. Agreed. Now, did I put that in the links down here? I did. If you are looking to find any of these tracks, if you want to take a listen to them yourself after the show, if you're watching on the replay, or if you're here live, you can jump down below into the description, and I am updating them as we go. So please support the artists that support Studio Live today and listen to their tunes. Oh, I lost my voice for a couple of seconds. Tunes like this one. This says, this is from Ife, and Ife says, this is a song I made entirely on iPhone. My favorite song, and I mixed it myself. You know we love it when folks do this, when folks are mixing and releasing their music here. So this is a YouTube video. We're going to bring it on up, and then we're going to give it a spin here. I'll just make sure everything's up there. Cool. This is called We Should Talk More Next Year, and it's by Ifgl. And I'm going to press the button to actually bring you over here so we can take a look together. Let's listen to this track now. This is Ifgl, We Should Talk More Next Year, featuring Young Swisher, and we're going to listen to it on Your Music Live.
And there's no place I wouldn't go to show. No
go. Ifgl, We Should Talk More Next Year, featuring Young Swisher here on Your Music Live. I noticed something there. Uploaded in HD at tunestotube.com. I've not heard of tunestotube.com. I might have to make a note of that and check it out after the show, because I do get asked by a lot of folks, how do I get my music just straight onto YouTube? I got an audio file. How do I get it onto YouTube with just the album art? And the easiest way is to make a video in something like iMovie or something else. But this looks like it might be a service that lets you put your music on YouTube without having to create your own video. That looks like it could be cool. Let's have a chat about this tune. So yeah, I really enjoyed that. I like the doubled vocal. So one thing I noted from the start there is that the vocals were very rich, look, the style of it was very in your face. So the vocals were were loud in the mix, and they were kind of up front in the mix. That's definitely a style choice, and I think it works for this sort of song. Wouldn't be for every sort of song. Liked the beat behind there, little guitar swishes in there. Like the bass was subtle. It wasn't the big chunky 808 tuned basses that we've been hearing in a lot of tunes lately. It was just more of a subtle, gentler kind of bass. But all in all, very well done. And this is the sort of thing, if you're doing this on your iPhone, and I mean, I don't know how old you are, but if you're starting out or you've made a few tracks, you're only going to get better. You're going to keep creating, and you're going to learn from every song, and hopefully sharing your music here on Your Music Live, the Create, Record, Release group we'll talk about in a moment, but a bunch of places that you can engage with people. It is only going to make things better. I just need to make sure I've shared this. I didn't. Hang on. Hold the line a moment, please. I just need to make sure I put the link over here to this track, because I haven't yet. So this is Ifgl. We Should Talk More Next Year. All right. I'll make sure that that's in the show notes so that you can go back and take another listen. Metallian says vocals could sit a little higher in the mix to my taste, but otherwise very good. Like the keys and effects. Love Buzz says, I like everything about this song. Lo-fi instrumental is really cool, and the vocals sound good too. Nice. The person you least expected, what are you doing here? Sorry, I made that joke last week. Glenn Clark says, love the tremolo effect on the organ at the start. Plus sounds like there's a nice bit of vinyl crackle. Yeah, I love a bit of vinyl crackle. Dan Moreno says London sounds tonight. Love it. There you go. Rage, is that vinyl crackle I hear? Yeah, a bit of vinyl crackle in there. Ed Zielinski digging this big chime. By the way, I'll tell you another thing in a minute. We'll talk about that. Judy Free says, tonight I'm watching on my TV and listening on a big-ass 5.1 surround stereo sound. I must say the audio quality of all you have played tonight is amazing. Great work, everybody. Well, there you go. Love it. Damien R. Hello. Sorry, I'm late. What was my point there? Yeah, so just really quickly, I know I'm going to get a wee bit self-promotional here for a second, but if you do use GarageBand, and I know many of you do, there is a video that I did about that vinyl crackle effect. You can actually, there's a synth within Alchemy in GarageBand that actually makes it really easy to create that vinyl crackle effect. So there's a video for it. It's just called Vinyl Record Effect in GarageBand iOS. You can search for it and take a look after the show. But if you ever wanted a quick and easy way without having to go and find a sample, you can use this vinyl crackle effect, and you literally just, it's a sample in Alchemy with vinyl crackle behind it. You basically just remove the sample, and therefore you're just playing the crackle, and you can use your different keys on your keyboard to play it at different pitches, and it sounds really cool and works well under your lo-fi tracks. So just a tip with that. Yes, as we mentioned, today is brought to you by me and Studio Live Today. If you are a Facebook user, or even if you're not, head over to Facebook and join Create, Record, Release. You can just go to createrecordrelease.com. That is the official Facebook group of Studio Live Today. And over there, we basically do what we're doing right here, but you can do it 24/7. You don't have to wait for Pete to do his weekly live stream to listen to other people's music, to share your music, to provide feedback, and to engage with the community. So I strongly suggest it. I know the folks, many of you here are members of Create, Record, Release, and it is a great place to share. And it's a great community because everyone's there has the same goals. We all just want to create, record, and release our best music. And we do that by sharing music, by sharing suggestions and ideas and tips to make music better. Because that is the thing. I was thinking about this beforehand, and I'm like, what is the secret to making good music? Is it talent? or is it actual hard work and perseverance? And look, it's a bit of both, like everything. I think you have to have some musical talent, or at least have the ability to. No, I'm going to scratch that. I don't think you need to have any natural anything. I think the best people have, like the people at the very top, sometimes have talent to begin with, and that makes their road a little bit easier. But they've still got a road. Like they're still going and they're still having to work hard. I think if you are starting from scratch, which many of us are, then the road may be a little bit steeper. But if you just keep going, you're still going to get better. That was a really weird analogy, and we're going to move on because this is a show about playing music, not about Pete pontificating on pointless proverb. No, I don't know what I'm saying. Let's continue on. Alrighty. Right. So we'll move on to Morgan. So it says, hi Pete, my name is Morgan. I'm a 13-year-old who makes music in their bedroom on GarageBand. Not much background on this song. I don't have a name for it or lyrics yet. I was playing around with the tremolo effects pedal, and this is a riff I created and decided to write a song. I hope you enjoy. I'm going to definitely take a listen and see how we go with this one. So it is a video that Morgan has sent to me. So I'm just going to download this. Please just talk amongst yourselves while I download this video. And maybe you can tell me, what's your view on talent? What is it, nature versus nurture? Talent versus hard work and practice? I think you need both, but yeah, you let me know if you're here live or if you're watching the replay. What's the ratio? What do you think is important, or is it all important? Righty-okey, I'm going to open up this file. Where are you going to put it? Oh, you're going to put it over there. We don't want it over there. We'll bring it back over here. And we'll put that there. Sorry, I know I'm shuffling things around here in the background that you can't see. All right, there we go. So let's take a listen to this track, this unnamed track from Morgan, 13-year-old garage band producer, and we're going to play his tune here live on your Music Live. I think I've got it muted. In fact, I know I've got it muted because VLC Player is telling me I've got it muted down in the bottom corner here. Did not see that. Let's try that again. Take two. Sorry, Morgan. This is your tune here on Your Music Live. Hear this building. I'm just going to skip it so we can hear this bit coming in with the bass and the strings. How cool is that? Morgan, 13-year-old GarageBand producer. Got some pretty solid chops there. I think that's by talking about talent versus effort. That's clearly someone's got some musical talent there. And see, I'm actually super jealous of folks who are 13 and have GarageBand right now. I know you can't go back. No, you never go back. But when I was 13 and recording on like 4-track tape decks and trying to get sounds like this, I could only produce what I could produce. I had my Casio keyboard that I'd be trying to record with the headphone jack into the line in of my tape. Anyway, you don't need my old man rantings, but yeah, I'm super excited for folks who are young and have all this technology at their fingertips, because it just removes the barriers to creation, and you're able to produce cool tracks like this. So this one, I can hear this it's a really sort of motivation-y, beautiful sort of piece. Like, have you ever seen those motivational videos? Could be under a motivational speaker on one of those sort of Instagram videos that you see around. But yeah, really nice cinematic sort of feel. Like the strings, like the arrangement, love that guitar. Yeah, I can see why you said, yeah, I played around with the tremolo, and I love that chicka 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 chicka, like really cool effect. Just works really well with this particular track and with the type of song and the type of mix that you have there. Let's jump over and see what people have to say here. Stu Cash says, nice job, Morgan. Fair play, absolutely. Desolate Morning, really like it so far. Langston Reed, 808. Yes, there you go. Glenn Clark, love that muted string sample. Yeah, it sounded cool, didn't it? Scott says, nice. Like the build up, very emotive. Yep, Tono, very nice. Love Buzz, I think it's really good as an instrumental. Yeah, last week I was singing over some songs when I was playing instrumentals, but some instrumentals I think just need to sit there and be instrumentals, and I like that. And Ed Zelinsky says at 13, this is a solid release. Yeah, exactly. Desolate Morning, get off my lawn. I had a get off my lawn moment. I might tell you about that a little bit later. But yeah, I had a real old man get off my lawn moment during the week. It was not fun, but anyway. Righty dokie, we're going to move on because we got so much more music to get to, and you don't need to hear me rant. You want to hear some tunes. And by the way, every week I'm blown away. One week I'm just going to play stuff and go, this is only so-so. But every week I'm blown away. I know people are selecting some of their best tunes and sharing them. No one's going to share something that they think is like terrible, but yeah, the level of quality that we get here on the show every week without fail is just pretty phenomenal. And I'll keep doing, while I keep getting songs through, I'll keep doing it. So we'll keep going. Righty dokie. We have Yaseen as a trap song, so we're going to move it up. We've gone mellow, and now we're going to move it on up. I'm just going to see. I've got windows flying around the screen. We'll bring this window back over. I'll just see. This is an unfamiliar link. You know what they say? Don't ever click on things that are unfamiliar. I've not ever seen this before. It's a service called Clip, CLYP. It looks like a SoundCloud kind of deal, but I've not seen this before. So we're going to take. There you go. We've had. Yeah, okay. So I'll show you. Sorry, you're like, what are you talking about, Pete? So this is what it is. Looks a bit like SoundCloud. CLYP clip.it. Assuming it's somewhere where we can share our beats, our music, our tunes. Yeah, looks cool. Anyway, I'm getting distracted by that. We want to take a listen to this trap beat from Yaseen, and we're going to listen to it here on Your Music Live. indeed. That's almost like old school video game music. Like, can you imagine just like walking along, like a bit of a platformer type thing? Like, anyone play Ghosts and Goblins or Ghouls and Ghosts or whatever those games where they would always have a sound, a little bit of a creepy minor key soundtrack to keep you like on edge as you were playing along. But yeah, you had the nice combination there, the nice contrast between the dreamy sort of intro and then really kicking in with the drop and then going back to that little dreamy feel again. So I love an arrangement that keeps you guessing and that keeps moving and sort of flowing around. So very well done. So I've learned a couple of things. I've learned what Clip It is. Apparently, it's an online music sharing platform. Go figure. I'll have to join up so that I can follow people there. But yeah, and I've learned that that's a pretty cool beat and really cool tune. I often joke that because for a while there it seemed that everyone was just talking about trap beats and trap music, and I kept saying that I'm an old man and I don't know what trap music is, and I still don't really. But if that's what a trap beat is, that's pretty cool. So whatever it is and however you explain it, it sounded cool. What did folks have to say about that one? Noah AG says, I love it. Ed Zielinski, kalimba in there. Yeah, there was definitely some interesting instruments in there, wasn't there? Noah says, I could probably rap to it. Yeah, you could probably rap over the top of that one. Yeah, I'd say so. Stu Cash says, headphones just fell off. That is no good. Zilla said, nice. I would have wanted a fatter sub, though. Yeah, look, it probably could have a little bit more low end, couldn't it? Yeah, if you were going to find something that you could do. Tono says the drums are killing. Love Buzz says nice beat. Ed Zielinski, Bach meets trap. There you go. I do like me some Bach music. Duty Free, yep, there's a rapper's backing track, big dynamics in there. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, Castlevania. There you go, Jade. Castlevania could be in. Yeah, that's the sort of thing. Seventh Guest. Oh, Scott. Yeah. Oh, Seventh Guest. Man, I would. I've got another channel that I've been in development for a long time. I just haven't had the time to fully do it, called Semi Nerd, where I'm going to talk about all of my non-music nerd stuff that I like, and it's retro computers, retro video games, electronics, just anything sort of nerd. See, it's called Semi Nerd because I'm not a nerd. I'm not into comic books. I'm not into like the comic book movies. I'm not into Dungeons and Dragons, role playing games, that sort of thing. So I'm a semi nerd. I'm like I scrape the surface. I don't have a time to be too passionately in depth with things, but there's a lot of things that I like. So yeah, the Seventh Guest, I actually just downloaded it on iOS. It's available. The full version of Seventh Guest is available on iPad and iPhone. And I got about halfway through playing through it because some of those puzzles in the Seventh Guest are ridiculous. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Seventh Guest, one of the first interactive CD-ROM games from way back in the day. And yeah, it was just revolutionary, full motion video, groundbreaking stuff. Anyway, I'll continue on here because this is not currently a retro video games show. Or is it? Now, did I put that link in the link? I did. Excellent. Let's go back to my email and find our next track to play. And it is going to be, drum roll, aha, you know who it is. It is our buddy. It is Darren Danilook, Cage. Is it Cage in the Head? Yeah, Cage in Your Head. Sorry. We're going to play another tune. I think we've had a couple of tunes on here from Darren in the past. Now, Darren shared a couple of tunes. He shared a cover of Rockin' in the Free World. Now, I haven't been playing covers yet. I may get there and do it, but we'll play your original tune here, Darren, because I'm just not convinced that it'll go well if we play cover tunes. I'm already getting copyright claims. I just don't want any copyright strikes or to have the video blocked. And cover songs don't usually. I mean, I do cover songs every week on my show, but yeah, can't be too careful in these copyright fueled days, right? So let's bring this track up. Now, this one is called "I See Right Through You." And we'll click the button so that you can see what we're doing as we go along. Here we are. It is called I See Right Through You from The Cage in Your Head. Premonition, Drugs, Guns, and Crazy. And we're going to listen to it live on Your Music Live. The cage in your head. I see right through you. Now, I've definitely heard that tune before. I don't think, have we played it here on the show before? I can't recall. Hopefully not. We've definitely played others of Darren's tunes here on the show before. But if you, maybe it was a different one. And because I know that Darren has shared a lot of stuff with me directly. Yeah, like the vibe of that one. Again, at the intro there, I like that I like it when the guitar is doing something and the drums is just not offbeat, but where it's like restarting a pattern on the guitar in like the fourth part of the bar, the fourth beat of the bar, and then sort of repeating. Bands like Tool that I love use that sort of rhythm all the time. It's just it just adds to the feel of the overall feel of the song. Darren, I know that you do a lot of more heavy stuff. I think you sent that to me one time saying it's not all heavy, it's not all super heavy. I do some sort of more mellow tunes like this one. So yes, I do enjoy that one. Thank you for sharing it with me and with the folks here on Your Music Live. Ed Zelinsky says would be great live. Yeah, cool. Scott says, nice one, Darren. Always enjoy catching his songs in Create, Record, Release group. Yes, and that's probably where I've heard it too, over on Create, Record, Release. Needs to be played through some big PVs. Yeah, it reminds me of going to gigs, like going to gigs of sort of garage bands as opposed to garage band back in the day. And yeah, they'd just be like cranking up, and as long as it was loud, it was good. I'm not saying that that's what you need to just be loud, but you know what I mean. Some songs just need to be played live and loud, and they sound cool. Tom Rochelle says, yes, Darren never lets us down. I love the barren, bleak sound. He does so well. He's a very distinct sound, and that's really awesome. Yeah, exactly. And I think this is the thing, like I've been ranting, and again, slight rant break. Again, Your Music Live is brought to you by me and Studio Live today, which is why I do these little rants in between. But if you haven't checked out the Tom Morello Masterclass, speaking of guitar and rock guitar and finding your sound and your vibe, I did a review on this, so there's a video on the channel here. You can search just Pete Johns, Tom Morello. If you don't know Tom Morello, guitar player from Rage Against the Machine, from Audio Slave, Prophets of Rage now, because they've combined their forces. But yeah, so he is a ridiculously good guitarist. And the beauty is I watched the masterclass, and you too can watch the masterclass. Go to studiolivetoday.com/masterclass if you're interested. But yeah, watching that masterclass with Tom Morello, he talked about finding his sound, and he said at the start of his career, he was trying to emulate all the sounds of all the guitarists and all the bands that he liked until he realized that he just needs to create his own sound. So instead of going out and buying all the gear and doing all the things and trying to be like all of the guitarists that he looked up to, it was a better idea for him to go, why don't I create my own unique sound? And I like that because the reason I mention that is it relates to Darren's tunes here, is that Darren's not going, oh, what's popular? Oh, I need to be more punk, or I need to put some pianos and synths in my song. It's like, nah, I'm going to do what I'm going to do, and I want to produce music that sounds like this, and he does a spot on job, because the one thing you can't argue, I said it before, there's no good, bad, yes, no, right, wrong when it comes to music. It is all subjective. And as long as you are enjoying what you're doing and you're having fun with music, because it's supposed to be fun, you're going to find your tribe. You're going to find people that dig your tunes. So go ahead and do that. And thank you for Jade, who's put the link to the Tom Morello video down there. If you want to check that one out, you can do so after the show. How are we tracking? We're nearly at the 1 hour mark. We'll probably be going 1.5 to 2 hours today here, because we've got some more tunes to get through. We'll have a quick drinks break, and then we will continue on, and I'll tell you, as we go on, I'll tell you a little bit more about other things that are happening here on the channel over the weekend, because as always, it's going to be a big weekend of music here on Studio Live today. Not Your Music Live. That's today's show. Alrighty. We've got one here from Karlos. Hello, Karlos Dergal. Says, hi there, Pete. I'm Karlos Dergal. I write, record, produce, mix, and of course, sing my own songs. I'm an electronic music artist. My video clips are always made in my living room. I hope you all like it. Very cool. Greetings from Mexico. Karlos Dergal from Mexico. We are going to bring this one up and pop it in our little window and make sure that it is good to go. Make sure that that's not auto playing. Actually, can I change this Autoplay. See, I've got autoplay off in my settings, but it's still auto. I think the autoplay in YouTube means will it play another song after you've played a song, as opposed to what I would say is I want it to not play when I open a link. I know it's probably weird. Most probably people want to actually have their songs playing. Anyway, let's take a listen to this one. This is from Karlos Dergal, and it's called Never Again, and we're listening to it on Your Music Live. How cool is that? Again, I love the range, the broad types of music, the styles of music, the production values that we see in some of this stuff. That's in your living room. Like that's some top quality green screen and some lighting going on there, my friend. Yeah, not all of us can have the greatness of a blue couch and a door as our backgrounds. Maybe I should get a green screen. I could have cool stuff like Karlos behind me instead of having to endure my old blue couch. Anyway, well. Yeah, so that was unexpected. I love that song because, again, the dynamics. I'm a sucker for dynamics in a song. I think too often these days, people think that you just need to start and then just go full on. And if you pull back on the intensity in a song at any time, people are going to go, oh, something else shiny and look away. But in this tune, like, loved the intro. Then when the vocals came in, that was a surprise. I'm like, oh, what's this going to sound like? And I'm like, oh, I didn't expect it to be that, low Pet Shop Boys kind of vibe. And then when it kicks back in nicely, and then again goes back. And there's breaks and changes as you go through, so you can hear that you've put a lot of effort into the production side, and you've made sure that you've got a heap of variety in there, which sounds really cool. Beat was cool, synth sounds behind there cool, vocals cool, video production cool. As you probably saw there, I subscribed and liked as we were listening because that's stuff that I want to hear again, and that's from 2014. So, Karlos, we want to hear and see what you're doing these days. If this is you in 2014, what are you doing now, 6 years later? Because that's super cool. So yeah, thank you for sharing that one. Let's see what folks have to say. Love Buzz says, I like the blue couch. The couch is fire. Good old Bluey. Yeah, at least I don't have the treadmill anymore. The treadmill over there, I realized, I'll take you behind the curtain, and then we'll talk about this track a bit more. My treadmill still is here. It's just there. And what I realized is that I used to sit over here, and that used to be my backdrop. And then I'm like, Pete, if you tilt your screen about 20 degrees, instead of folks having to look at your treadmill, they can probably look at the blue couch. And and I've got little corner stuff of music gear over there, so it's a little bit more appropriate. I could put some more knickknacks and stuff there to make it look nicer. Give it a what do they say in the design? A cute corner. I need a cute corner design here. Remind me of Human League, says Metallian. Yes, definitely a bit of Human League vibe going on there. Scott says, I think I need to go listen to some more 80s after this. I know. I do dig that sound. A bit Devo in there. Any Devo fans in the house? Yeah, that had a bit of a Devo vibe there. Pretty retro on purpose, I'm sure. Yeah, electronic disco feel, says Kenneth. Nice classic EDM with an 80s feel in there, says Prod by ZT. 80s feel there. Yeah, absolutely. Jade Star says, nice false start there and then into a nice 80s vibe. Yeah, absolutely. I do love that. I love when you get a little bit of that sort of false start in there and then you just change it up, just move it around. Don't give people what they expect. I mean, you can. I said before, there's no yes, no, right, wrong. And then I'm like, do this. No, do what you want. But yeah, don't be afraid to do something different and outside of the box. Alrighty. We've got a few folks who are checking out here. I realise that for the folks, especially those in Europe and the UK, it is now midnight, so you are all turning into pumpkins. So I do appreciate you being here. Don't forget you can catch up on the replay of these shows, because the beauty of YouTube is nothing is ever gone forever. It will come back again. Speaking of coming back again, let's come back again and listen to more music, because if I recall what's next in my list, and I do, it's something pretty darn cool, because it is my buddy Glenn Clark from down in New Zealand town, and he has a new song, which is cool. He says, hey Pete, how goes? Loving the new YML format. Thank you, my friend. I hope you are enjoying it. I thought I might throw one of my songs your way if you ever have a gap in the show. Well, not only do I will make a gap. If the show had 0 gaps, I would pry open a gap just for Glenn Clark to have his tune in here. So this is a song called Killing Time. It consists of only 6 verses. Original concept was simply a man digging a hole in the ground. I then built a story around that imagery. And he goes on to give me a bunch more information about the tune. I'll read through that as we listen to this tune. In GarageBand on Mac OS is what he uses, fully recorded, mixed and mastered on GarageBand iOS, Mac OS. And if you want to find out more about Glenn and his music, he lurks around the Create, Record, Release Facebook group quite a bit. He's also been on the channel twice. We did a Creator Series interview last year, and he was on my Artist Profile series just a couple of weeks back. So if you search my name and Glenn's name together, you'll find us chatting about music, the universe, and everything. And you can learn a heap more about how Glenn creates tunes like this one, which is called Killing Time, and we're going to play it here live on Your Music Live. Here we go.
Killing time on a perfect day. I'm just thinking of you and the scratches on your face. One last thing to see to be together from today. Killing time on a perfect day. It's been a hard time working my fingers through the page. Though I'm tired and dirty, at least I know you're safe. Killing time on a perfect day.
Killing Time, the one and only Glenn Clark on Your Music Live. Now, as much as I wanted to play that whole tune, and I could definitely have done that, you're going to have to go and, it's only halfway through, you're going to have to go and listen to the remaining verses to find out what happens, because it's a bit of a cliffhanger. As Glenn himself says, he won't spoil the ending in the email to me. I've listened to it before, so it wouldn't be spoiled for me. But he's got a bit more information here. It says the basis of the sonic signature for this sound revolves around the sound of a shovel digging into the earth, as you heard there. I recorded myself digging late one night. Heaven knows what the neighbours thought. Yes, they're like, is Glenn burying a body in his backyard? The shovel sound then became my hi-hat, and I added a simple kick drum, and that became my basic beat. In the background, there's also 12 string, which I added the Tape Cassette 2 plugin, and its strained warbling drone, which I liked. Yeah, so Tape Cassette 2, also available on iOS, by the way. A great little plugin if you want that old sort of warbly tape sound. Very cool. So yeah, thank you for sharing that. You definitely need to check out Glenn's music and definitely listen to and watch. Glenn is a great artist as well as a musician, and he always makes sure that there's something visual for you as well as something to listen to. So thank you to Glenn. Oh, I just had all my stuff to say. I like Glenn. I'm just going to say everyone else must like Glenn, but we should probably jump over and have a chat to the folks who are here. In fact, Glenn is here himself. So good to have you here, my friend. Stu Cash says this is wicked. Love the shovel effect. Got a bit of Weller in the guitar. Yep. Glenn says, me and my shovel. Good chord progression there. Yeah, reminds me a bit of an old Radiohead tune called Exit Music for a Film from their album, the big good one. What is it called? No Surprises, Paranoid Android. What is that album? Mental blank on the album. Anyway, but yeah, really cool. Just that really sort of low-key guitar vibe there. Love the 12-string there. So we've got Sekar said, wow, love the way it started. Yeah, that's so cool just having with that shovel sound. And Glenn has a video. That's right, Glenn, you did do I haven't watched it yet, but Glenn did a video on how he actually deconstructs how he made the video, which you can go and check out as well. Jade has thrown a link to that one there. SM Borthwick, absolutely love this song. It really needs to be played all the way through. I know, I'm sorry, I should have just let it go. It was only, for the sake of 3.5 minutes, I probably should have played it through, right? But it's a tease. So now you have to go listen to it, don't you? So you need to go and re-listen to it for yourself. I know. Got people wanting to play the rest. OK Computer, that was the name of it. Tom Rochelle says, fantastic tune, Glenn. I agree. So yes, we're OK Computer. Yep. So we've got the name of that. And Glenn Clark says, stick around, the harmonies come in later with the bass and a bunch of other percussion. See, I should have played the second half. I should have played the whole song. Again, you are just going to have to go and check it out. Absolutely. Righty dokie. Let's continue on here and find our next song here. And I'm in trouble now. Everyone in the chat is telling me that I needed to play the whole song. I'm sorry. I'll play it next time. No, like I say, you just need to go and listen to it. That way Glenn gets more listens and you get to enjoy the whole thing without my melon head in the way doing things. Right, let's go. We've got someone else who has featured another track here on the show before. This is TMCF. Says, hope you're doing well. I am. Thanks for featuring our track Circadian in Your Music Live. We appreciated your kind words. Excellent. Here's another one of our tracks from our recently released EP. We'd love to have it featured in an upcoming show, please. If you could play it from 1 minute 43, please. The link should do that automatically anyway. Cool. There's a track called Unity, inspired by the theme of isolation and liberation. Hope you enjoy it. Thanks again for your content from Ben and Paul. So we're going to, I've pressed the wrong button. We'll copy this one. Make sure I have Glenn Clark. Yes, I've put him in the comments there in the description. We're going to open up this one. It should open the link to the right spot, which it has. So we're going to turn up the fader, turn up the fun. Turn up the soul and the funk. I don't know. I'm going to press play. I don't know what this is going to sound like, but if it's from TMCF, the band, who we have played before, then it's probably going to be something cool. And let's listen to it now, shall we? On Your Music Live.
Stop.
It sounds again. I know I'm cutting these songs short, and as much as I would love to be playing the entire song, there's too much music to get through. And when I've watched these shows before, when a whole song is played, it's okay if it's the sort of tune you dig, but because we have so many different styles and so many people producing so much different sorts of music here, playing about 1 to 2 minutes of a song is about the good balance, so you get a taste for it. But then again, if you do want to listen to the whole tune, jump down in the description. All the links are there. You can have some fun for the rest of your morning or afternoon or evening listening to the entire songs. But that one was Unity by TMCF. Just a really tight vibe, just really well mixed. It's the sort of song that you're just listening along to and nothing is sticking out. Like the lyrics and the vocals sound good, the guitars sound good, the drums sound good, the bass sounds good. It all just melds together. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you're just listening to music and you're like, oh, that's really good, except I wish that thing wasn't doing that thing. Whereas when I listen to this tune, I'm like, it sounds really good and that's all. Like there's nothing sticking out. And sometimes it's as much about making sure that there's nothing distracting sticking out of a mix as it is about having something special to draw your attention. In fact, sometimes having something special to draw your attention can sometimes distract from the rest of the mix. So you want a balanced mix a lot of the time. And again, in my opinion. So I should start every sentence with "in my opinion," but just trust me and just believe. Just put in your head "in my opinion" before every sentence, because again, music is an opinion. Music is subjective, and that is the good thing. What have we got? Do we have? Oops, sorry. I'm just trying to see if we have any comments here. Patrick Chandler says, outstanding, very nice. Stu Cash, great vocal. Kenneth says, wow, that's nice. Yours has a Trap Nation feel, says, produced by ZT. Tom Rochelle, it was really good. Interesting modern indie rock production. Very well done. Yeah, absolutely. So again, I really enjoyed that. So thank you for sharing. Yet another tune. Who else have we got here that I haven't said g'day to? Yep has just joined us here live. Patrick Chandler, I didn't think I'd seen you. Six String Gunner has jumped on in. A few more of our regulars and usual suspects have been joining us. And as Jade is saying in the chat here, if you do want a song featured, we are full up for today, but you can. I'm going to do this as long as there's music. As long as you guys keep sending me songs, I'll keep doing the show. So if you send me an email, pete@studiolivetoday.com, put YML in the subject and give me 1 or 2 lines about your tune so that I can share them with the wonderful Studio Live Today community, which is you. Yes, you, right there, you. Righty dokie. I think I have seen Tono here in the chat. In fact, I can see their name sitting right there. And Tono sent me an email during the week and said this, words out of their mouth, I'm assuming. It says, hi Pete, this is a little song that I've written in an organ, a Casio CT530. As percussion, I used a Brazilian version of kendama. I think it's a very popular toy where you're at. Thinking of using it as an ending for an album or EP. By the way, it pretty much ends after 1 minute. Can you let it resolve to the word pain, please? All right, there you go. We've got playback instructions. I like it. So I'm going to copy this link here from Tono, and we're going to make sure I've got the right windows in the right place. We're going to paste it in here. We're going to quickly pause it. So it's 1 minute 33 tracks. So yes, I can definitely play it up to the 1 minute mark. No title for now on Tono's track here. So let's bring this on up. Here is Tono with no title for now. A track here on Your Music Live. Let's do it.
I miss you.
like it. A very, very eclectic, experimental vibe there. Yeah, very cool instrumentation. Again, something that just does things differently. Like you're listening to that and you're not exactly quite sure where it's going. You're not sure what's happening next. And that is always a good thing. Dug the cool organ vibes in there. So, yep, sounding good there. Vocals, vocals match that pretty well. A little bit buried. I wouldn't mind hearing the vocals. And look, I know that's the style, so I'm not saying that it needs to be like, la, like big upfront, highly compressed vocals, but I'd just like to hear a little bit more of them in there. So maybe just adding something, a little delay or something to those vocals, just to pull them up in the mix might work well with something like that. But yeah, I really dig it. I like it. Cool little tune, definitely something that I could hear at the end of it. If you're doing an album or an EP, even if you kept it sort of a little short song like that, it could just be the little ending bit, and then sort of you could almost fade it out. I didn't listen to the end, but you could almost like fade it out at the end, and that could be the ending of your tune. Very well done, and I think Tono is here with us in the chat as well, hopefully getting some feedback from folks here. Where are we? Sorry, I'm just scrolling on up. Cubie the Penguin, hello to you, says interesting. Kenneth says nice vocals. That was amazing, very unique, says Prod by ZD. I'm getting a little Beatles vibe from this, says Glenn Clark. Yeah, it's got that experimental kind of 60s alternative style as well. Rage, interesting, experimental, but confusing to my pea brain. I think the thing, it can definitely, so Tom Rochelle says these chords are and harmonies really unique and different. And look, sometimes when people say, oh, it's unique and different, you think, oh, are they just saying it's bad and they're saying unique to be nice? No, because again, unique and different is good. And some tunes are just like, they're pop songs and they're bangers and you listen to them and the first time you tap your toes, you nod your head. Other tunes you tend to need to listen to 3 or 4 times. There are songs that I have despised on my first listen because they are too complicated. They're too different. They're not what I expect. And then I go back and okay, I'll listen to that song again. And then you're like, oh, actually, it does this and this and this. And then you listen to it again. So there's different ways to approach music. There's a way that's just cookie cutter, make it sound like people expect it to sound. And then there's ways to make things sound different, but good different. Different is good. The same is not the same. Jade Star says Pet Sounds by Beach Boys. Yeah. Prog Rock Feels says 1,000 watts. Yeah, exactly. Metallian, gentle giant kind of vocals. Yeah, I like it. Tono says, if you could check out, I wrote all I could remember about getting those sounds on the description. Cool. So, yes. Oh, excellent. Brilliant. So I'll just show you this real quick. And I love this sort of stuff. So if you go into the description here, check this out. So Tono has got the organs, the bass, the guitars, the sounds, the vocals, and a bunch of information about how those were all achieved. So do jump over and check that out. That'll be in the description. You'll be able to listen to that tune at the end of the show. Righty dokey. Speaking of the end of the show, we're not there yet. We've got about half an hour to go. So we'll probably get another 4 or 5 tunes here in today. So if you do have a tune that you have submitted, it may sneak under the bar today. If it doesn't, we'll be back. So as always, when I do this show, I'm playing last week's music this week because I do the show and then everyone says, oh, I want to submit a song. And then I get a bunch of emails and then I do the next week's show and then people go, oh, that's a good idea. I'll submit a song and I get a bunch of emails. So that's totally cool. It just means that each week I just go to my inbox and I'm like, oh, I got 20 more songs. All right, I guess we're doing your music live, which is fine because you know what? As I said before, even though this isn't the sort of video that I do for, for promotion and for lots of views and for advertising revenue, it is really fun to do and it requires virtually zero preparation. I don't even listen to these songs anymore. I'm just like, no, we're just going to spin them. We're going to talk about them. We're going to have a bit of a casual, laid back chat. So hopefully you enjoy this. If you do, you know what to do. If you hit the like button, you'll make me feel all warm and fuzzy in the cockles and your cockles will feel fuzzy too. I said cockles. Anyway, let's move on. Got an email here from Josh. G'day, Josh. Josh says, hey Pete, big fan. This is my song Unbloomed by the Pangolins. It's a slow rock ballad. I use GarageBand on my iPad to create it. I paid Lena Scissorhands from Infected Rain to intro the video. There you go. Cool. So I will copy this So we'll bring it over. I know every time I do a song, I'm just like, Pete, we know you. You're copying a link and putting it in your other window. You don't need to tell us every time, buddy. It's okay. But anyway, it's just for me to fill time because I'm bad at multitasking. Because I'm an old man. Rightioki. Let's come in here. Let's take a listen to this one. This is the Pangolins and their tune Unbloomed. If we bring it on over, there we go. I will subscribe and I will like, and then we will hit play on this one and take a listen to Unbloomed by the Pangolins here on Your Music Live.
Hi, this is Lena from Infected Rain, and you're listening to the very new, very fresh, awesome single from the Pangolins, Unbloomed. Check it out.
This flower has been in this garden many seasons unbloomed. So try not to be watered or cared for. Such a flower be doomed. Is there anyone that can bring it back to life? Will a caretaker recognize? Spend my time, such a flower be doomed. Unbloomed, such a flower be doomed. Unbloomed, so take me and hold me and help me grow, so I no longer resume. Unbloomed.
Very cool indeed. I'm pretty sure back in the 90s I played almost songs that were almost exactly like that. Not exactly like that, but yeah. Again, you get a bit of a free pass when you play tunes that are in my wheelhouse. I'm just going to admit that up front. We all like different things. It doesn't mean I don't like and enjoy all types of music, but that is my jam. So loved that. Loved the chorus guitar effect and the nice sort of low, mellow verses kicking in with. There's something about that tone. That sort of almost muted, distorted tone. It's not the harsh, crunchy metal zone kind of tone. It's more the Boss DS1, but without the gain turned up. So you know when you got the two knobs, I can't remember which one's which, the level and the gain. It's like where you level it down, but you gain it up. So it kind of gives you this crunchy, muted, sort of dark tone. Yeah, I love that kind of distorted tone on guitar. So I love that. The drums were really good in this one too. So the drums were just sort of sitting behind there, minding their own business, but some nice stereo effects, some nice tom fills in the drums there. And the vocals, I've talked about this before. Sometimes you hear a vocal and you're like, they're singing within themselves. They're not singing at 100%. And especially in the home studio, it's one of the biggest challenges because, you know, we're in rooms. We have families and neighbors and things around us. So you often don't want to just pump it all out either for noise-related reasons or because, let's be honest, it's a bit out of your comfort zone if you're a musician, and some of us are introverted artists and we don't really like other people listening because they might judge us and they might think that we're bad and all those sort of things. So it is good to be able to, you're going to sing better if you just throw all that away, you know, the dance like nobody's watching, sing like nobody's listening, belt it out, get it done. It'll be cool. Thank you for sharing that one. That was super cool. Let's see what folks here live had to say about that. Scott says, agree, Metallian love the tremolo. So Metallian must have said something cool about the tremolo. Yeah, great use of tremolo, nice balance, well mixed, love this. Yep. Scott says, yeah, another really good one. Really enjoyed the song, every song this week. Good playlist of music here, totally. Kenneth, rock on it. Jade Star, nice vocal, reminds me of Silverchair. It is got a bit of a Silverchair vibe. Do folks outside of Australia know Silverchair? They were a big deal here in Australia. Started as a group of 15-year-olds. Lead singer is Daniel Johns, no relation. But yeah, when I was a little older, when they were 15-year-old dudes from Newcastle, came up, did is that Unearthed, or it was some sort of Unearthed type thing, and then got a record deal, made an album called Frog Stomp, which still holds up, by the way. If you want some good music, do yourself a favor and go and check out Silverchair and their album Frog Stomp from like 1998 or something. Excuse me, I'm getting all choked up about Silverchair. But yeah, some ridiculously good sort of 90s alt rock grunge sounds, very Nirvana inspired. Listen to that. Rage says, this is my kind of jam, the blues rock beat. Yeah. Sekar says, oh wow, so much talent here. It's ridiculous, isn't it? Super ridiculous how much talent there is. Metallian says, I have neighbours on one side and downstairs, both well in their 80s. I got to be careful. Yeah. Gary Hub says, we know Silverchair in Canada. There you go. So they made it up far north. Not sure how they went in the States or in other places. I know in Australia and probably New Zealand, they're pretty well known because they did good things. They're kind of known in this sort of indie scene. So one of their songs, if you've ever seen the movie Mallrats, any Kevin Smith fans in the house, their song called Stoned was played where he's playing NHL on his Sega Mega Drive, or what do they call them? Genesis at the start. And that's what's playing in his room is a Silverchair song. Deep cuts here. You learn stuff that you didn't even know you wanted to know on Your Music Live. Most of it, in fact. Righto, how are we going for time? We've got half an hour maximum because I've got a 2-hour limit on this show. Otherwise, I could sit here all day and play music. But I got to go and eat breakfast and have coffee and hang out with my family because it's the weekend, people. It's Saturday morning here in Australia and we got weekends to be had. All right, here is someone who has shared a tune, which is the purpose of the show, so that's a good thing. Actually, sorry. There's a question. It was a question from Peter, and you've got YML in the subject, but it's not a link; it's a question. So, Peter, apologise. I'll try and remember to get back to your actual question, but you might need to email me again and ask the actual question. Apologies for that. Righty-do-key. We'll continue on here. I think we've got a couple more tunes to go that we have here. Cubie the Penguin, I have seen you here because you have a very distinct name and logo. Cubie the Penguin says, this song is heavily influenced by rhythm games, so it includes varying melodies and a hard beat. It also clocks in at 205 BPM. I've never really done a song like this before, so I hope you enjoy. Wow, all of that sounds super interesting there, Cubie the Penguin. So we are going to take a look and listen to this in just a couple of moments. If you are enjoying the show and you're getting some value or you're just having some fun here on your Friday night or Saturday morning, please go ahead and hit the like button. That just tells me that I should get up early and play some rockin' tunes again next week. And again, if you do want to submit a song for a future show, you just need to email me. I'm sure Jade has put the details of that a few times here in the chat. Let's bring this one up here. We got Cubie the Penguin, Sugar and Caffeine. Two things that I'll probably be going and hitting pretty hard right after the show. Let's take a listen to this on Your Music Live. I have a feeling that that's going to continue to go on and sound cool. And I like the video too. I like it. Yeah, we've got we've only got 2 minutes 30. So yeah, there's not much to go. But again, I'll leave you hanging and I'll let you go and take a listen to the rest of that. That is just so cool. I love listening to something like that. Like really well produced. Everything just fits in there nicely. It's right in the zone, but with a lot of variety. It's been that show. This show's been showcasing what good dynamics in a song do. You don't need to just go full on from woe to go or go to woe, whatever the saying is. You can actually have some dynamics in your song, and it can make it sound really cool. I've never used a tempo quite that fast. That kind of makes me feel a bit frantic. I can see why you call it sugar and caffeine, because I kind of feel like I've just pounded a Red Bull and then eaten a Snickers bar. That's the kind of feeling I'm getting. It's like heart palpitation feel going on there. But very well done. Thank you so much for sharing that. We will jump over and take a look and a listen at what people have got to say. Scott says, did you say 205 BPM? Well done. Yeah, so it was this, but it's also like it could be like at 110 BPM, but I guess it's subjective there at that point, isn't it? Cubie the Penguin is here, says thanks. Yes. Tom Rochelle says, I could see this used as video game music. Great work, Cubie. Yeah. 1000 watts. This needs a Beat Saber map. I don't know what that is because I'm not that up with the thing. Rage says, lots of fun putting these together. I expected the riser and then the big drop with the change of the beat, but dang, you got me. Good times. Yeah. And again, there's been two big takeaways from today's show. One has been variety and dynamics. I think keeping variety and dynamics in your music is super important, and it makes things work really, really well. And the second is exactly what we had here, is that keeping people on the edge of their seats, not just delivering what's expected. When there's a big drop coming, you don't need to always put a big drop in there. You can do something completely left field, and it can make people go, dang, like, didn't expect that. And it makes them want to listen to more. And again, don't just make music for people because you want them to listen to it. But pop music is called pop music because it stands for popular music. So if you want your music to be popular, there's no harm in that. There's nothing wrong with that inherently. But as long as you're enjoying the creation process and it's music that you enjoy. Noah AG, I've seen you in the chat here. I'm not sure if you're still around, my friend, but you have submitted a song here, and you are up next. You are next on the chopping block. That doesn't sound good. Next on the playlist here is going to be Noah. He says, this is my song, Quarantine. So we've got I was going to say, we don't have any lockdown or quarantine songs here today, but this is the first one. I think everyone did their quarantine and their lockdown songs early on, and then there hasn't been as many lately. We're all just like, no, we've been there, done that. But we'll take a listen and a look at this one. I'll make sure that we're not muted here. Here we go. So this is from Noah Age. Oh, it keeps playing. YouTube, you're getting super excited there, and I like. I appreciate your enthusiasm, YouTube, but could you just wait till me to introduce the song? Thank you. Technology, tell you what, misbehaving. Here we go. We are ready to rock and roll now. So Noah AG, the man, a freestyle song here called Quarantine, and we're going to listen to it here on Your Music Live.
Yo. I am Noah AG, that man. God always has a plan. Oh yes he does. Oh yes he does. God always has a plan. Oh yeah. God is always here. Yes he is always here. Even when you don't feel like he's here. Even when you don't feel like he's here. God is here. God is here. Oh yes he is. He is here. Oh he is here. Yeah, I don't know about this. Is a freestyle. I'm coming up with this on the top of my head. Oh yeah, I remember talking about. Yeah, I'm doing this for my story. Not doing this for my glory. Yeah, I also love to sing. Oh yes I do. I am a Christian rapper and singer. Yes,
Nice one, my friend. Noah AG, the man, here on Your Music Live. Whew, the guts to freestyle and to try and rap over a beat. My goodness, I cannot do it, and I don't try to do it. I probably should try to do it. Yeah, there you go. Hands up in the chat if you think that I should try and do a freestyle beat, a freestyle rap, because my goodness, is it difficult to do. Yeah, I think with something like that, it's hard because it's hard to not sort of repeat things that you're trying to say and you're trying to get a message across. So I think variety is the key with something like that. So the advice there would be to, even if you're freestyling, to have some concepts and have some ideas to move it along. So I think you can be freestyle, but you can say, okay, what are the key things I want to say in this, and put down like maybe 8 things or 10 things at the start. And then as you're going through, you can find your rhymes and you can find your groove. But yeah, just having a little bit more variety in there would be cool. I like the beat though. Cool beat to go along with. And yeah, again, the thing about music is there's no right, wrong, there's no yes, no, there's just doing it. And the step that you've made here to actually put that out there and to put yourself out there is brilliant. So continue doing that. Like I said, I don't have the guts to do freestyling, and clearly you do. So I'll tell you a little. I keep saying I'll tell a story, and then I forget to tell the story. So I get sidetracked. So if I ever forget something, just put it in the chat. But I watched something during the week. It's called Brainchild. It's a show on Netflix. Really cool, actually. If you've got kids, search it out. Brainchild. Really interesting. One of those shows that's great for the kids because they have some fun with it, but it's actually educational too. And me as an adult, I was enjoying it as well. And they did this thing where they got people to paint a picture. And then they made they got to paint a picture which was going to be their rapper name, so and their rapper logo. So similar to Noah's logo here that you've got there, your design logo, your Noah AG the man. They had to make up their rapper name and they had to design a logo, and then they had to go and do a freestyle rap performance. So that was pretty daunting. But then they came back and they again got to paint a new logo, and the second version they painted was so much better than the first version. Why? Because they'd actually just done it. They'd got out of their comfort zone. They'd pushed through that barrier, and they were actually creating something and doing something that was pushing them. And that made them come back and do better art afterwards. So I say all that to say, keep doing your thing. Keep doing what you're doing, because the more you do, the more you practice, the better you get. It's a simple fact. Very few people go, when I started out, I was great, but after 5 years of doing music and creating music, now I'm terrible. It doesn't work that way. It's not true. So anyway, I say all that to say thank you all for submitting your tune. Righty dokie, you could run as DJ PJ. Yeah, DJ PJ. There is actually a Peter Johns DJ in the UK. He's a cool dude, much cooler than me. But yeah, when I was searching around and I was making sure that when I release music, and that's kind of why I'm Pete Johns, because I saw this guy Peter Johns, and I'm like, oh no, there's a DJ called Peter Johns. I need to make sure I'm differentiated. Righty dokie. We're going to continue on. How long have we got? We've got time for probably 2 or 3 more tunes here today, which is what we're going to do. And we're going to come back. I did see this one. So we will jump in here. This is Frank Segura says, first of all, you've done an outstanding job with your channel. Thank you very much. It's been very helpful for me. I'm starting to record and share my music. This song is called Season, my own take on how time and life flows. It's, I'd say it's kind of nostalgic with a touch of hope at the end of the tunnel. Piano, voice, and synth, very early Coldplay influences. There you go. Sounding cool. And this is from Frank Segura music. So we will bring this on over. We will cue it up and we'll get ready to play. It will do its usual thing of already playing. We've paused it in time this time. Getting better here. All right, we'll take a listen to this. Frank Segura with Season, and we're listening to it live on Your Music Live.
Time
relaxing tune there, Frank Segura with Season here on Your Music Live. Really enjoyed the piano in that one. I like a good piano. Yeah, definitely early Coldplay influences there. A little bit of a Ben Folds style ballad there as well. The Whitlams, which is a band that I like. Tim Minchin I'm listening to a lot of because my wife's a big Tim Minchin fan. Does some good piano vibes. So their ballady tunes have that kind of feel. Like the vocals. A little bit of sort of hiss behind the vocals there, so you could probably clean that up. I'm not sure what you're using to record, but again, use what you got, right? But yeah, just a little bit of hiss. So maybe your input gain might have been up a little bit high when you're recording. So if you turn that down, you can reduce some of that noise floor. Might just clean it up. That's sort of the only thing I was thinking there. But obviously the nice long notes, nice mellow sounds, and then was it a little bit of a string or a synth that came in there in that second verse? Again, variety. Vary it up with some variety. Very cool there. Thank you for sharing, Frank. Enjoyed that. Did I put the link in? I didn't. I need to do that. Sorry, I just need to do some admin here, folks, because I haven't caught up. I need to put the last two tracks in here. I didn't put their links. So that one was Frank Segura, and that was a tune called Season. And before that one, we had Noah AG. And I'll just go back. Sorry, just talk amongst yourselves while I finish my work here, and we'll do that one called Quarantine. Quarantine. There we go. All right, we are caught up. Now we can move on with our lives. Excuse me one moment. Need to clear my throat. Let's take a look at what folks had to say about that one before we get to our next tune. 1000 Watts says belongs at the end of a movie. Yeah, very cool. Tono reminds me of John Lennon's solo piano songs on Imagine. Yep. Pratik Chandler says very soothing for sure. Bubba says very subdued in a good way. Yep. Tom Rochelle, excellent piano playing. This is a very delicate track. Great job. 1000 Watts, very nostalgic. Yep. Scott, really good. Sometimes just piano and vocals is all that's needed. Indeed. And Jade Star, really enjoyed that. Speaking of Jade Star, have you been catching Jade's How to App series? If you're a iOS creator, or if you're any sort of creator, you should definitely check it out. If you are not aware of Jade and her work, go and visit her channel now. Open it up in the background or remember to at the end. But yeah, go and check out How to App. She interviewed Mike, who is a bastard, but he's also one of my good friends because he had some very unkind things to say about me at the start of the interview. But no, Jade interviewed Mike from Creative Source yesterday. Mike and I have a little bit of a relationship where we like to jab at each other and have some fun with that. So yes, he was very mean and cruel. So go over there, go to Creative Source and watch all his videos, but comment on them, say, be nicer to Pete in every video. And then hopefully he'll get the message. Not really. But yeah, check out the interview. It was like 2 hours long, but it was super interesting and fascinating. So definitely go and do that after you've watched this one, because after this, I'm not back again till tomorrow because it's the weekend time. So I'll be back for home studio Q&A tomorrow and also doing a happy hour. And I'll tell you at the end of this one what to expect in tomorrow's happy hour because it's going to be a whole lot of fun. All right. I think we've got time for at least one more. Might be able to sneak two in under the bar if we got one more tune here. Yes, we'll go with this one. And then I've got a song that I want to finish us off with here today. So this one is from Jay. The email address is just Jay. So, hey Pete, this is a song titled Running From Me. The song was my attempt to combine jazz chords and jazz instrumentals with some more metal instruments that I tend to enjoy. I plan on making lyrics and vocals for this when I put it on my first album. That's why it has instrumental in the title. It does have a lot of twists and turns I hope you enjoy. Ooh, righty dokie. Speaking of Jade Star, this reminds me of a Jade Star tune. Jazz and metal together at last? Cool. Righty dokie. Let's bring this one up and take a bit of a look-see and a listen, shall we? Running From Me instrumental. Here we go. It's going to open up a SoundCloud link this time. We're going to bring this up on the desktop. We're going to hit play. Let's take a listen to SoundCloud. You're trying. You're giving it a crack, little fella. Good on you. Kudos to you. Anyway, we're listening to music at the moment. Let's take a listen to Running From Me, the instrumental from Jay, here on Your Music Live. boop bop boo. I'm digging that in a big bad way, as you can see, by me dancing and scat singing along to that tune. How very, very cool. And thank you for sharing. That was Jay with Running For Me. Instrumental, a bit of jazz, bit of metal, bit of rock vibes, bit of everything all together there in that one. And it didn't disappoint. I want to go back and listen to the rest of it. And so should you after the show, because I'm putting all of these, as I keep mentioning, but in case you're joining me late here, all of these are going down in the description with the artist name, the name of the song. I'm saying this as I'm typing it, Running From Me, and the link so that you can go back and enjoy all of these in your own time, in the comfort of your own home. Because let's be honest, who of us is really going anywhere much at the moment? Let's take a look at. What do I think of that? I think that's so cool. I love a fusion of different styles. I loved the mellow, like click your fingers, tap your toes of the beat going along there, bringing in some of those heavier influences. When that guitar, I thought it was about to kick into like a full-on death metal tune at one point when we had the guitar feedback coming in there. But yeah, then sort of mellowing down, and then I want to know what happens at the end of that one. We're only 1 minute 40 in, goes for 3:23, so I want to find out. But I'm going to leave you hanging. So you're going to have to go and explore yourself and find out what goes down. You having fun? You enjoying this? I hope so. Hit the like button if you are. If you're not subscribed to the channel, do subscribe. We've been doing this every week. I did have a week off a couple of weeks back, but we've been doing this every week. Apart from that, it's a hell of a lot of fun. And I really enjoy checking out all the different styles of music. It takes a whole bunch of fruits to make fruit cup. Okay. Tono says, great. SM Borthwick, that was just the vocal it needed. My little skibbly bop bop bop. Battalion said, great variation there. Old style and modern sound. Exactly. Jade Star's loving it, rocking it, liking the style changes. Bubba's thinking it's cool. Yeah, you got your money's worth today, Bubba, with some of these tracks. That was worth your super chat. So thank you again for your support. Tom Rochelle, awesome production. Love the combo of jazz, piano, and the hard electronic. Rage says, a cornucopia of cool. There you go. Cornucopia of cool. Ahmed says that was cool. 1,000 watts, very great. Yeah, too many superlatives coming on in. What a good one. Again, it's totally random as to what's actually played and when, because it's just what's in my inbox. But it is nice to finish off and come towards the end and have something that we know is cool. Speaking of something cool at the end, I wanted to save this track for the end because the story behind this track is pretty cool. This is from an artist called Thomas Christ, and this is our buddy Tom Rochelle. So Tom Rochelle is one of my patrons over on Patreon. If you want to support me on Patreon, petejohns.com/Patreon, and you can get over there, or actually patreon.com/PeteJohns. Both of them probably work. Anyway, you can support me. There's links in the description if you want to become one of my patrons. But because I've played a Tom Rochelle track, a Thomas Christ track on the show before, and you would have seen I subscribe and I like people as I go along, I was out walking, and I was just, like you do, I'm just scrolling through YouTube going, what do I listen to and watch while I walk along? Because I listen to a lot of videos. I don't watch videos. I just put them on, stick my phone in my pocket, walk along, and that's my jam. And I'm like, oh, a new Thomas Christ song. I know that name. That's Tom Rochelle. I want to take a listen to this. And so I listened to it, and then I instantly messaged Tom and said, hey, this is ridiculously good. You need to, with your permission, I want to play it on Your Music Live. So often it's folks that are sending music to me that they want me to play. This was one where I'm like, can you send me your song and give me permission to play it on Your Music Live? And Tom said, yep, of course, happy to. So that's what we're going to finish with here today. This is our last tune. I know, but we will be back. We'll be back to do it all over again in the future, but I wanted to go out with this one here. Definitely recommend this one. Go and have a listen to the full song, but we'll crack on and take a listen. Parental advisory, there's a couple of little explicit lyrics in here, but I think they work in really well with the tune. So let's take a listen, shall we, to Thomas Christ and his tune called Mask.
my face there is no telling the twisted contours escape the sun. Behind this guise I disappear. My eyes will deceive anyone. I wear this mask for your protection. Between ourselves there is no connection. My true face hidden away from sight, blotted out from the daylight. You wear your mask to keep me clear. When none can see, there is no fear. Everyone wears their mask to conceal what's too delicate to be revealed. I found that as I grapple through life, I'm never lonely putting my mask on. You wear yours and we're all the same, so satisfying to stay withdrawn. Some people come and try to rip it off. They are playing a dangerous game. You might not want what lies beneath. Better we never expose our shame. I wear this mask for your protection. Between ourselves there is no connection. My true face hidden away from sight, blotted out from the daylight. You wear your mask to keep me clear. When none can see, there is no fear. Everyone wears their mask to conceal what's too delicate to be revealed. Keep your fucking mask on your fucking face. Keep that fucking mask on your fucking face. Keep that fucking mask on your fucking
Sorry, I gave the parental advisory, so we had to play it at least until the part. No point giving a parental advisory if I don't then follow through and play the part. What a rockin' track. We played Virus Infect, Thomas Christ's tune, back in the first or the second show, and it is great to hear from Tom again there with that tune. And Tom had this to say about it when he sent me the email through. And I believe, was it Pexels you said that you got that stock video footage from? Really cool, works really well for the tune. Says, this is the second release from my upcoming Virus Infect album. The song is a double entendre about the need to wear a mask to prevent spreading the virus and the mask we wear to conceal certain things about ourselves, which isn't always a bad thing as it gives us comfort. Yeah, and look, this is why I loved the tune, because I listened to it the first time and then I'm like, hang on, this isn't just a song about wearing a mask to protect people from a virus. This has got a second meaning here. And I do love that. I love the wearing of a mask, which is just to conceal things about ourselves. It's pretty deep. Goes down a few levels deep if you chip away at it. So I wanted to finish with that tune because I enjoyed it so much and wanted to share it with you folks here. And Tom says in the chat that he was going to share it with me anyway, but I beat him to it. Yeah, sorry about that. That is what's going to happen when when you share music here, I'm going to follow you. Not in a creepy way, but I'm going to follow you online and then listen to that. Jade says, I love a good swear. Yeah, I love a good swear in context. That's why I say, if someone's just going to submit a song where it's just like F, 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 S, 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 C, I'm like, no, I'm not interested in that. Like, that doesn't take intelligence. But for a song like this, that is powerful. Like you can use it in a way that is going to be powerful like that. Righty dokie. What have the folks got to say? Too many good things. SM Borthwick. Oh yeah, I like this, Tom. Absolutely. Digging this nice hard edge and message. Cool clip too, says Jade. Absolutely. Likes to Reese. I love this song. Stu Cash. Cool track, Tom. Yeah, 1,000 watts. The song. The song is for the Karens. The poor Karens. Tell you what. Bubba says, love the counterpoint, simultaneous descending and ascending lines. Love it, Tom. Yeah. A lot of folks saying a lot of good things about the tune. And I hope you have a lot of good things to say about the show and about all of the wonderful music that was shared on the show here today. I do genuinely thank everyone for their submissions. We've run the gamut here again. We've had all sorts of different music shared on the show today from a bunch of different genres. But a lot of people, they're putting themselves out there for the first time. That takes some courage, so kudos to you for doing that. And it's the only way, it is the best way that I know to learn, to develop, to grow, to improve, is to share your music. Not just when it's a track like that. So I didn't have anything constructive to say because I get lost in that track. Every time I listen to it, I'm like, I should probably try and give Tom some tips on... No, I can't because it's too good. It just works really well. So yeah, thank you for that. But yeah, I'm sure Tom listened to that and he's like, oh, I really should have done this with that synth, or yeah, that panning needs to be blah. We're all going to be critical, but we're probably more critical up here and to ourselves than we are to others. But again, if you want to support the channel, you can do so. Head over to studiolivetoday.com. We have a heap more shows coming up over the weekend. We have home studio Q&A. So if you've got questions about the recording side of things, you can join me for home studio Q&A tomorrow. I've also got the happy hour. Now, I did tease it before. It's Ladies' Names Night. So it's not Ladies' Night, but we're doing back-to-back-to-back songs all about ladies' names. It was my wife's idea. I thought it was super cool. We got some cool tracks, all ladies' names coming at you in the happy hour tomorrow. Should be a heap of fun. And then we've got GarageBand Weekly to wrap up the weekend. So I hope you can join me live or on the replays for one or all of those shows. Thank you, everyone, for being here. I hope you had some fun, and thank you again for all of your support, and I'll catch you next time here on Studio Live Today and Your Music Live. Take care, folks. Bye for now.